today we are making a fidget spinner. So let's get signed in. So remember, you push sign in the corner of your screen. And you know it's sign in using social providers. We know we use Google, so go ahead and push Google. Okay, and we're getting logged in. It should take you to the Tinkercad home screen. There we go. So as I always mention, remember, you can get to your old lessons here, push on Tinker this to open them up. And remember, this Tinkercad symbol will always take you back to this screen. So let's create a new design. It's that blue button in the middle. We should be getting used to that. Create new design. Go ahead and click it. Okay, so like I have mentioned before, we should always rename our project first. So click on the title. We'll just name this one Fidget Spinner. There we go. So Fidget Spinner. Okay, so this one you have to be precise with. So I'll go slowly, but I'll need you to listen closely because if your measurements are off, if we printed it, it would not work. So what we need is a cylinder. So we'll drag it onto our work plane. So grab your cylinder. And we also need a cylinder that's a hole. So right at the top, you can grab the cylinder that's a hole and drag it onto our work plane. Okay, so we need to resize them. First of all, we'll click on the side here. So we click on this side button and these two pop up. We want them to say 22.5, both of them. So go to both of them, 22.5. You're doing that on the hole because that's the size of the ball bearing. So that's the size that it has to be. Okay, so you clicked here, you clicked on the little box and it gave you these 22.5. So yours should both say that. And now we need to resize our cylinder. So we're gonna do the same thing. We click on the corner, the lengths show up. This is going to say 30. So put in 30 and 30 on both of them. So 30 by 30 is what you should have. You can do the drag thing, but it's just a little harder. So as long as yours is 30 by 30, you're fine. We do need to change the height. So the easiest way to do that is to click on this top little white box. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, please look. The top white box here, click there. We need it to click into the box and put in 7. So it needs to be 7 tall. So now it should be 7 tall and 30 by 30. All right. Now we need to put this shape inside. So put the hole inside of the cylinder. Don't worry too much about where you place it because we're going to fix that in a second. So your hole should be inside of your cylinder here. And now we need to align it. So the align tool is what we need. So you click down off your shape. If you're not sure what I mean, please look. You click down, keep clicking down, and move your finger across your trackpad. You'll see the little box show up and let go. So now it has both shapes highlighted. And we need to use align. So we go to this top bar. You'll see the names pop up. We need to go to align, which is right here. Click align. And these little circles show up. We want to center it. So how we center it is we need to click on this side center one. So click on this one and click on this bottom centered one. So the side and the bottom. If you rotate to the top, you'll see it's right smack dab in the middle now if I rotate around. That's just what I want. Okay, so go back to my home view. Okay, so what we need to do is make a copy of this shape, but we're going to do it in a little bit of a different way. So we need to hold down on our keyboard Alt Shift. So look at your keyboard and look for the button that says Alt and Shift and hold them down at the same time. Alt Shift. And then click on your shape and drag with your finger to the side. It will go exactly across. Holding down Alt and Shift, they're exactly across from each other, which is what you need on a fidget spinner. So you hold both those down and it will go exactly across. So we know that they're perfectly measured. Again, it was Alt Shift is how we did that. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to highlight our shapes again. So remember that means you click off of them. So I'm clicking off over here and highlighting them. I'm dragging that box over top of both. So now both of them are highlighted. We need another copy of this so you can duplicate it just the regular way by going up to duplicate in your toolbar, or you can push Control D. So push duplicate just one time. And now we're going to rotate it. So we need these arrows right here on the side. We click on these side arrows, so I click on them. And remember, I can type in 60 or I can rotate it to 60. If you try to rotate, if you're inside, see how my mouse is inside of that circle? It will rotate by 22.5 degrees, which I don't really want. If I want it to go smaller, I need to be outside of that circle. And now I can rotate by individual degrees. So what I'm going to do, because I think it's easier, is to just go to the side and type in 60. 60. Enter. Okay. So now what we need to do is another copy. So go ahead and push duplicate again up here. Duplicate. And you'll see it fills right in. It's copying, it's duplicating the movement and the shape. So you just pushed duplicate, and now you've got a pretty good looking fidget spinner. We just have another step or two to go. We do want it to be grouped together now, since we want to be able to align a piece in the middle. So we need to click off of our shape and do the highlighting thing again. So we click off of it over here. Keeping our finger down, we drag over it. See, the box comes up, you let go, and now everything is highlighted. I'm going to push group right here. Remember where group is, I hope, right here. If you don't remember, click it. And now I've got almost a full finished fidget spinner. So I need one more piece for the center, of course. So I'm going to grab my cylinder and drag it onto my work plane. And I'm going to make this one about 50 by 50, I think. So let me click on that corner. I'm going to see 50 by 50. Remember, you can also click the corner box and drag, but you want to get it right at 50. It does need to be 7 tall. So remember, you can click this top box and you can drag it down, or you can just change the numbers next to this top box and put in 7. Now we're ready to drag it on to our shape, which it looks just about right, but we gotta align it here in just a sec. Okay, so hopefully you made yours 50 by 50 and moved it right on in here. Now we need to click down again. We keep doing that same motion, so hopefully you're used to it. Click down and drag over your shape. Let go. And we need to align. So remember where that align tool is? Right up here at the top. Align. Click it. And we need to center at the top here and center on the side. So now it's perfectly aligned. You see how it goes perfectly through the shapes. So we're looking around, looks good. Okay, so now we do want to group those shapes. Well, let's do our hole first. So let's grab this cylinder that's a hole. So grab the cylinder on the side here, drag it to your work plane. So I just grabbed this one, dragged it to my work plane. It does need to be the 22.5. So remember, I can click on the side box and these will show up. I can put in 22.5, 22.5. So both of them are 22.5. And now I'm going to put this in the center. So I need to make sure it's actually in the center because right now that's not perfectly centered. So I'm going to highlight it again, how I did before. Click down, drag onto your shape, and we're going to align again. So go up to align and click the center and the center. Remember, both of those center ones are what you need. Now it's ready to be grouped. So don't even click off, just leave it. You go centered, center, and now you can go up here and click group. So go ahead and click group. Okay, and now our fidget spinner is complete. If we were to print it, we would also have to make this cap piece for in here and of course buy the ball bearings for it as well. Let's take a second to color ours. So let's click on our shape and choose what color we would like. Blue. So now you have one that you like. Maybe you want to try to do all different colors. If you wanted to try all different colors, you would have to ungroup it. So you would have to click and drag over it and push ungroup up here. So I ungroup it. And then I could click on the individual shapes. Oops, I need to ungroup a few times. So do it twice and now I can. But I want to be careful not to move anything. But I could click here, say I want this red, click here, orange. I'll do it in the order of the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and I'll do my centerpiece black. So say I chose some colors and then all I have to do is click down, drag, and regroup it. So now you're going, wait a minute, your colors disappeared. Remember, you need to go back to the color here and tell it to be a multicolor. So that's just how it looks. We know if we printed it, it prints in the colors that we have available, but it still looks pretty cool to make it like this in Tinkercad. So please leave yours up on your screen. I'll be around in a second to take a look.